What's going on, everyone? Genji Gear here, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Diablo 4. Specifically, the story, and is the game worth playing for the story? That is the question I hope to answer today. But before we get started, if you end up liking today's video, please make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing. So the Diablo franchise is drenched in lore. There's 4 or 3.5 other games you can play. There's thousands of videos online of people talking about the story and the lore, all that fun stuff, how Sanctuary was created, the eternal conflict, the Nephilim. Blizzard has also made some official lore videos that you can watch that catch you up to the Diablo 4 story. Blizzard's also done a lot of really cool marketing around the game. I mean, like, look at this. Like, damn. Isn't this just... Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. Look at this. Like, what the hell? These guys are crazy. Plus, the KFC Mountain Dew is delicious. It's kind of a mango flavor. And since the first Diablo, Blizzard has done an amazing job with the cinematics. But as for the story in this game and the other games, they kind of serve mostly as a backdrop. A reason that you're going from one place to another. A reason that you're going to kill these big giant demons. But let's be honest, most players are really just there for the loot. But at the end of the day, the stories to all these games are kind of similar. The world you're in is called Sanctuary. There's a heavenly realm. There's a hell-y realm. So heaven and hell, angels and demons, there's this eternal conflict. A lot of the times it spills over onto Sanctuary. A lot of the times you have to spill over into heaven or hell and kick some demon or angel ass. The games usually have a lot to do with you trying to kill one of the prime evils, which is either Diablo, Baal, or Mephisto. More often than not, you gotta trap their soul into a soul stone crystal thing, because you can't just kill a prime evil. That's ridiculous. But yeah, that's basically the storyline to every single Diablo game. But this time the main baddie is Lilith, not one of the prime evils. It's actually Mephisto's daughter, the daughter of hatred, as some call her. And her mission is kind of unknown. The game kind of doesn't explain it too well. At least I didn't understand it too well. Seemed like she was trying to save Sanctuary. You see, her and Inarius are the mother and father of Sanctuary, which is the mortal human realm. And she's back, and you don't really know why. She keeps on talking about how she's gonna save everyone. She's gonna save Sanctuary. But then, as you're following her throughout the game, she just ends up kind of killing a whole bunch of people. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Seems like she says one thing and does another thing, which is kind of common when you're talking with demons. They're kind of tricky sometimes. So most of Diablo 4 is just you trying to find her and follow her and kill her, because she sucks. Oh, and there's some kind of connection between your character and Lilith. At the beginning of the game, people do some ritual on you and like feed you her blood. I know it's kind of gross. Most of this game's pretty gross, to be honest. So most of the game, you're tracking her down and you're coming across the destruction that she's left in her wake. You meet a bunch of different characters who are in just horrible circumstances for the most part. And through their stories, you learn more about Lilith, you learn more about the world, different factions. And overall, I think this was done actually surprisingly well. Like, sure, you could just click through all of it, or you could click through more of it. Each character usually has extra dialogue where you can kind of dig deeper and learn even more about their story and their motives and the world that you're in. And as far as performance, everything is top notch. The voices are just so amazingly done, especially Lorath. I mean, he's no Deckard Cain, but he does give Diablo 4 its own kind of unique, gravelly old man voice. There are lots of characters, but there are about 3 that kind of stick with you for most of the game, that are kind of your crew, your party members, and they're all kind of more or less members of the Haradrim, which is, they're just sorcerers, people that learn magic and whatnot so they can defeat demons, basically. I don't know. Watch another lore video if you really care. So first you have Donan, who was this ancient warrior mage guy who's very much past his prime. He's kind of overweight and getting old, who's forced back into this one last adventure to finish what he started, or something like that. I love characters like this that are maybe physically not in their prime, but have to pull deep within themselves to bring forth that hero within that isn't maybe a physical force, but it's something else in them that makes them a hero that they have to rekindle and reattune to. And that's actually kind of Lorath as well. This guy's actually from Diablo 3, though he's still kind of capable. He is an older guy, and just like Donan, he's also thrust back into this one last adventure to finish what he started. And then you have Nayeli, I don't know how to pronounce her name, whatever. But this is a character that you meet very early on that becomes a bigger part of the game. She's not really a Haradrim, but her mother was really into it, so she kind of is like Haradrim adjacent. She's kind of interested in it for her own personal reasons. So these are kind of the main cast of characters, and I was legitimately surprised how much I actually liked all of them by the end of the game. They're all cool as hell. But is this game worth playing exclusively for this story? Well, I'd say if what I've been telling you so far excites you, then I'd say yes, very much so. It's definitely not for everyone though. Let's be clear, this game is called Diablo. It's gruesome, it's gory, there's a bunch of demons, it's gross. When I was younger and I played Diablo 2, me and my friend used to try to make up the most disgusting names that we could for the creatures in the game because they're just so gross. Oh my god. Oh, he had the stupidest names. We'd call him like Puss Suck the Butt Nasty. Oh man, we just come up with the stupidest, grossest names because just everything is just disgusting in this game. But hey, I'm no Puritan, but this game's almost a little bit too much for me, to be honest. You know, if you're sensitive to this kind of stuff, this game might just be a hard pass. Playing it late at night and going to bed, you might get some weird dreams, like legitimately. So just take that into account. Some people totally love this kind of stuff, and by all accounts, I'm sure it's mild compared to some stuff that's out there. I'll just say this game's definitely for adults, and for that I actually appreciate it. But I'd say the driving force in this game is still the loot, the leveling up your character, looking all cool, destroying the demons. So if you don't like that, if you don't like isometric, top-down ARPGs, you're not gonna like it just because the story's cool. But if you do like ARPGs, or you're just interested in maybe trying one out and this seems like it might be a good starting place, I would say it very much is. This game's really great, the story's good, the game's fun as hell to play. A lot of really hardcore players, I'm like always find a reason to complain about it, but I've beaten every single Diablo game, and usually by the time I beat it, I play for a couple more hours, maybe I come back to it in a couple weeks, and then I stop playing it. I don't level 5 characters to level 100 hardcore. I don't play the game for 2,000 hours. I put about 60, 70, maybe 80 hours into the game, and I feel like I got my money's worth. That being said, the one gripe I have is I actually hate level scaling, and this game has level scaling. So no matter where you go on the map, the enemies are going to be around your level, which it's kind of fun because it's just like no matter where you go, you're just gonna be more engaged with the combat, with who you're fighting. But there is that like power level thing where you don't really ever feel like you're getting that much stronger because all the enemies get stronger too. I actually hate that crap. But if you're just playing through the story, it's totally fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's still a good game. If you're worried about if the game's gonna be too hard or not, if you go and you just follow a guide, you're not gonna have any trouble going through the game. I think I died maybe twice. And when you die, you don't lose experience, you just have to pay a little bit of gold to fix your equipment. It's not really a big deal. If you want to go in blind, that's totally fine too. I think you can get through the whole game just kind of creating your own build. So either way you go, you should be good. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I'm going to talk about a little bit of spoilers. And I'm mainly going to talk about these spoilers because I watched an IGN review where they say that they didn't like the ending of the game. So we're going to talk about that. So if you don't want to spoil the game, you haven't played it yet, go play it, come back then. But before you leave, please consider liking and subscribing so YouTube doesn't think that you're just leaving because my video sucks. Unless you're just leaving because my video sucks, then okay, then fair enough. All right, so let's get into the spoilers. So IGN said that they didn't like the ending of the game, which I totally did. I thought the end of the game was great. You're trying to find Lilith the whole time, you're following her, you're tracking her down. You get up to the ending, there's this huge build-up, this crazy cinematic, she kills Inarius, and at the end, she comes up and you're already there, you beat her to Mephisto, and then you have an epic fight and you kill her ass. It's so good. Hell yeah. Like seriously though, like it's great. What more did you want? Like what's bad about that? You're following the main enemy, and then at the end you beat the main enemy. What? I don't get it. Maybe they don't like the fact that Mephisto is in a soul stone. Nayeli, whatever her name is on the boat going away to some other place she didn't tell you all about, and she's trying to get away. And like, that's obviously setting up the next expansion. Like, did you want closure on every single thread? It's like, no, these games, like, they never really end. They're always about this eternal conflict, and this is the next thread that's gonna make the next thing happen. So I don't know if that was their complaint. They didn't really talk about it, but I thought the ending of the game was great. I think it's really cool with Lilith's dying breath. She tells you that you're gonna regret what you're doing, and it doesn't really tell you why. So you're like, I don't know, did I make the right decision or not? I don't know. Probably not, because there's gonna be more expansions and it's gonna get crazy. I mean, like, it's just like super cool. It's great. I don't understand why people wouldn't like it. So I don't know. If you didn't like it, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear why. I thought Lilith killing Inarius was super cool as well. It was like so tragic, him thinking that, oh, this is gonna get me back into the heavens, and then him realizing that, like, nah, it ain't happening. You're done, son. Like, that was like super brutal. So yeah, I don't know. I couldn't have asked for anything more. If I had to rate the game, it's hard. I think what a lot of people have done is kind of given it 2 ratings, giving it like a lower rating for people that are really hardcore players. But I'm not a hardcore player, so yeah, you know, if you didn't like it for all these like gameplay reasons, sure, give it a lower score. For me, I'm a casual player. I played through the story, I had a good time, I leveled up my character, I might level up another character, I don't know, I'll play with my friends who have it as well every once in a while. And that's about it. So for me, I'd say, I think I'd give it a 9, just because, like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. It plays really well, it's super fun. It's not the end-all be-all, like, life-changing game, but, like, I think it lived up to the expectations that I had for it. I felt like the skill tree was great. I felt like my character was unique, and the items really did change my gameplay a lot. When you'd get something new, it was cool to see that happening. The story, like I said, I really liked the story and the characters, so yeah, I think a 9 is fair, yeah. But I'd totally understand if you didn't like it so much. So I hope that I answered the question for you. Is this game worth playing for the story? Unfortunately, I think a lot of the times the answer is just, it depends. But I hope this video helped you figure out whether or not this game was worth playing for the story for you. Also, if you haven't played the game yet, you probably already left the video. So what the hell are we doing here still?